gaming news has come out in the past 24 hours or so. At the end of the video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Red Dead Redemption prequel that's supposed to be coming out later on this year or early next year or something like that. There's also some information about the new PlayStation 4 upgrade that's going to be coming out in, I believe, the beginning of the fall, late summer. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But first of all, I want to start off talking about Call of Duty Black Ops 3, the update that came out today, as well as the DLC Eclipse that dropped today as well. Now, if you guys watched my last video about Eclipse where I was telling you guys how you could access it earlier and things like that, you'll recall that I told you that the Razorback and the Vesper were going to get buffed. But I was extremely wrong in terms of underestimating the amount of buffs that were going to come. In fact, today we got the largest buff in the history of Call of Duty, not just in Black Ops 3 history, not just in the history of Black Ops, but in the history of Call of Duty online gaming. Every gun basically was buffed in every single class, with the exception of, I believe the COD was nerfed just a little bit in hardcore. Its one-hit kill range was decreased, as well as I believe the VMP got a little bit of a nerf. But other than that, pretty much every gun was buffed, from the KRM to the 48 Dredge to the Man of War, etc., you name it. So I'm playing with 4 different guns in this gameplay footage that you're going to see throughout this video, and I'm playing on each of the 4 new maps. And I have to say that I'm very pleasantly surprised in terms of how good these maps are. They're a lot better than I thought they would be, a lot better than I anticipated. Now, normally I'm generally underwhelmed with Call of Duty DLC. I normally think the DLC is a waste of money, but I did buy the season pass this time. I don't even remember buying it, honestly, but I'm gonna get my money's worth, so I definitely downloaded it, and I was really surprised at how beautiful these maps really looked. Knockout, which is the Buddhist monk temple in, I believe it's in Japan. It looks absolutely gorgeous with the leaves falling and things like that. The colors are gorgeous. Rift, while obviously not as visually stunning, it's still a pretty good map. It's pretty solid. And then you've got Spire as well, which kind of reminds me of Terminal from MW2. That's just my take on it. From just playing on it in a couple minutes, it kind of felt like Terminal. So I've got some pretty high hopes for that map. And then Verge. I only played on Verge for 3 minutes because it really kind of made me angry. But it kind of reminds me of a Mad Max dystopian future type setting where you've got this post-apocalyptic world. And I feel like they drew some inspiration from that movie when making these maps. But like I said, overall, I'm pretty pleasantly surprised by how good these maps turned out. The last DLC that I was really glad to play and glad that I paid for was the DLC from Black Ops 1 that contained Ascension, the Zombies map. And that's just because of how much I love that map. But I actually really love these maps, so I'm looking forward to testing them out some more. And like I said, all the guns that got buffed, I'm really looking forward to going through all of them. The Man of War was already really overpowered. In this gameplay footage, I played with the Man of War. I also played with the Kuda, the HVK-30, and the Shiva. So throughout this video, you'll see me playing with those on the 4 various maps. And each of them, I could definitely instantly tell that a buff was made. The Man of War, which was already pretty OP, I've gotten, if you guys have watched my earlier videos, you'll saw I went 30-0 with it on one map. And it feels even better. The aim down the sight speed has been increased, recoil's been decreased, and it just feels awesome. Same thing goes for the HVK-30, which was once again already a pretty OP weapon, and the Shiva, which was actually making me pull my hair out in terms of how hard it was to play with the gun because it's a one-shot weapon. It feels a lot better. I've not tried out the MX Garand and the HG-40, which I also know got buffs, but I'm sure the majority of you haven't, because guess what? They're only available in supply drops, just like every fucking thing in this game, which is fucking ridiculous. But anyway, all the other guns I'm looking forward to trying those out in the coming weeks and letting you guys know what I think about them and how they perform. So I'll be leaving some information in the description that you can click on, some patch notes, some more things that perhaps got patched. I'm not going into too much detail about in this video, and you can read all of that in your leisure time. Going into some other news, we also got some information about the new PlayStation 4, which has been codenamed Neo, that will be coming out later this year. It's supposed to be an updated, basically, I'm kind of likening it to the iPhone 5S's and that S series, that Apple does each and every year. to make more money off people, where it's basically just going to be updated graphics. It's going to have higher CPU capabilities, higher RAM. I believe like I said, it's going to be 4K. It's going to be running on 4K graphics. So like every game that's come out right now, the developers don't have to put out like Neo capabilities with that. But games starting from, I believe, August, all the games are supposed to ship with like that Neo capability. So it's probably something that if you already have a PlayStation 4, I wouldn't recommend going out and buying another PlayStation 4 just to get that updated graphics and things like that. But if you don't have a PlayStation 4, and you're looking to jump into PlayStation Network, which I highly suggest you do, because as a person who has Xbox One and PlayStation 4, I can definitely tell you PlayStation 4 is where it's at right now in terms of online competitive gaming and things like that. At least until that little merger happens where Xbox users can play with PC users and PlayStation users. For right now, definitely PlayStation 4. Then I would recommend going out and getting it. Also, if you're into the Red Dead Redemption series, like a Red Dead Redemption prequel, like the map for that kind of leaked over the weekend. So I'll also include that in the description so you can read up more about that. Red Dead Redemption was my favorite series from the last console generation. So I'm really excited to see that back on the new gen. So it'll be pretty exciting. So once again, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I am going to be doing a political video about the New York primary later on this evening, probably about 10, 11 o'clock Eastern time when the polls close and things like that. So you're going to want to make sure to subscribe for that if you have not done so already and you're interested in politics. And drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. I'm out, guys.